We can just use Mumble because I'm recording it all on a video.
And there's a significant in-game delay in chat for the in-game microphone. I noticed that in the recording between me and you, Peter. That I noticed it during the game when I would try to talk. Like, I know you were done talking, but like the audio was still going through because there's lag.
Yeah, I'm fine with either. Yeah,
I think Mumble's better.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I prefer Mumble.
That's fine
in
then.
General. We can just do a Mumble because everything will be recorded on my OBS. So yeah.
Makes sense. And stats is F10, if I remember.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh boy, let's get the show on the road. Let's check out the pool, guys. Oh, Arc Warden with the 0% win rate.
Yeah.
No Naga, thankfully, for Reg. I wanted more complaints.
There's not a lot of supports in this pool. However, there is a techies.
They're banning that Diddles anti-mage.
I just think anti-mage is annoying to deal with in general. It doesn't seem like
I don't think this meta is good for him, though. Although Captain's Draft is much different than meta game.
Well, yeah, I meant in terms of our in-house meta. Like,
right.
People don't like dealing with anti-mage in general. And
That's fair.
It doesn't seem like there's that many counters to anti-mage right now. I mean, what really counters anti-mage? Just Bloodseeker, what else?
I always kind of thought TA did pretty well against him.
Oh.
Clinks could if you want Orchid.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Orchid Clinks does it well.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Shadow
surprised.
Shaman's pretty good against him.
That's true.
Void as well.
I'm actually very surprised they banned out the OD. I feel like OD isn't really that big of a threat.
I feel like we don't play it, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good hero right now, but no one knows how to play it, really.
Is it really a good hero? I thought it was like awful with the new change, and they had to buff it. Is the buff good enough that it's now good?
I
was
thought it
picked
was
in a couple
strong.
of games today in Starladder.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Was it an EG hero? Did they pick
TZ played it once.
Yeah.
And I think Secret played it once as well.
Oh man, Secret. I
Tough
was a little
times.
yeah. I wanted Alliance to win, not gonna lie, but
Nah,
not like that.
I'm a Secret fanboy all the way. Why did they?
Actually, I
rat?
lied. That was a really good. I thought the series was really good, so I lied.
It was a good series.
Did they rat their way to victory?
Yeah, they Alliance their way.
Yeah.
It wasn't Rat per se, but it was Lone Druid and Bat Rider.
It wasn't full-blown Nature's Prophet Rat winning them the game while they're down 2 racks.
I see.
It was that Lone Druid, Bat Rider type
S4
playstyle.
played out of his mind.
That what was it? Game 2 where he was up against Zeus.
No, game
first-
3. Game 3.
Was it Game 3?
Yeah, because that was the only one I watched. Like,
Fed
actively.
first blood, and then it was like, oh, no big
Killing
deal. Get
spree.
a double. Killing spree.
At 6 minutes, even though he fed first blood. It was, yeah, vintage S4.
Okay, so what do you guys think is going to be the first pick?
Arc Warden, no.
Yeah, Arc Warden first
I
pick.
can hope.
Maybe CM
honestly,
or Shadow Shaman?
I was thinking that, maybe a Tide.
I think it's going to be a support. So Siam, Shadow Shaman.
Oh yeah, Tide.
Shadow.
Get wrecked.
Tide,
Yeah,
very
okay.
obvious. Then they're going to do CM Shadow Shaman. Calling it. Well, maybe not both of those, actually.
I mean, yeah, both of those are really squishy. But I think one of those is definitely a good pick. I think Shadow Shaman's really strong in the meta right now. I don't know why.
Same.
That doesn't shock me, actually.
Very, very popular, I think, in-house.
I played him in the last in-house I played. It felt really strong.
Sand King is a very good hero, especially once you get Hags.
Pino, it's a good patch for us. Invoker's strong, Sand King's strong.
Yeah.
Except I don't play Invoker. Okay,
I mean, for
there's
us,
the
like,
CM.
I play Invoker. I'm happy.
Oh, for
you're
us.
happy.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're certain, like, the jungle still sucks for Sand King.
That's true.
Jungle sucks for everybody now, though. Well,
Yeah.
Not as bad.
Not Legion Commander.
what? Are you serious? Is Legion Commander
No.
a legit?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I was about to say, everyone used to make fun of that and think that was, like,
On
awful.
Reddit, I remember seeing something. Step 1, you pick Legion for the jungle. Step 2, you lose the game.
Yeah.
Step 2, buy Iron Talon and exactly 1 extra chromosome.
Forgot about that part.
That one is amazing. That guide was so funny.
That's pretty good.
So we got our first carry. It's Gyro.
Pretty standard. I'm not surprised to see that compared to like he's safe.
I mean, that's going to be a Diddles gyro.
Now, the thing is, don't they normally pick up gyrocopters against, like, more squishy enemy heroes? Like, just so that the flat cannon
Fair
can
enough.
like, flat.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like, I mean, Tidehunter's definitely very tanky.
And
Ogre
Ogre
Magi is
as
very
well.
tanky. Disruptor,
Yeah, but at
not
the
so
same
much.
time, there's no real. If you're looking at what's there for potential carries, there's no big.
I don't know, I would go with the Luna
Luna?
over
Yeah.
Gyrocopter any day.
Sven?
Eh,
I'd like to see more Sven, honestly.
No, well, I mean, with the enemy lineup, I definitely think Sven's going to get really kited.
yes,
Oh,
Sven
I
would have
agree.
gotten kited.
I guess that's
I
true.
mean, the gyro with his ult allows him to stay a little bit more outside of the fight until he needs to get in there.
Oh, Luna.
Whereas
True.
the Luna has to get in there.
Viper.
Ooh.
Okay.
Someone's not gonna have fun. Whether it's the
It's
enemy
gonna be-
mid or the player playing Viper.
Hey, Viper's fun. I just have terrible luck with it.
I
Techies.
disagree with you.
What?
I don't think Viper is fun.
I mean, I don't mind simple heroes. Like, I'm perfectly
Simple-
fine with simple heroes.
I'm weird because I really like Wraith King, but I hate Viper. couldn't tell you why.
They're basically.
I think
It's probably has to do with the role.
I think it has to do with the fact that Wraith King has a cooler model, not hard to do, and he gets big flashy red numbers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the role. I like farming. I don't play Viper style heroes much.
Viper is like those mid heroes, razors like them with they're those mech building mids
Right.
that you group up for early team fight, but you're not necessarily going and ganking and have that
True.
aggressive play style. So it's a play style thing.
Yeah. Whoa. Am I only just now noticing how shifted the mid ramp is compared to the Dire Tower? Wow, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know.
a little bit.
It seems like more shifted than normal.
Oh, that's cool. Mom Spaghetti. I mean, Viper just flew in from the side.
Ah. A nice little spawn animation.
Okay, well, let's go through the rundown now. So I'll start and say with Mom Spaghetti playing the Viper, probably heading mid. We have Reg. Oh, actually, Reg is playing the Gyrocopter. We have DJ.Diddles playing the Sand King. Actually, not playing a carry this time. They probably
Whoa.
already lost the game because of that. OlafHaraldson playing the Crystal
about to say
Maiden.
that?
And finally, Mousecop playing the Darkseer. They have already lost, basically.
I'm gonna make a quick observation or a guess and say that Diddles on that Sand King ends up out farming the Viper.
Yeah.
Just because that's his play style.
Yeah.
I mean, Sand King does that too. I like we've played pubs like that, Pino, where like you're offlane or wherever you play him, like boom, top of net worth easy.
He just, once he gets to level 15, 16, he can clear waves and split.
Yeah.
push.
In the in-house, I ended up just like it's like sometimes people go for stats over a finish. Like you get 1 point in caustic, but like you just do stats after that. I ended up
it's so
maxing it
good.
instead, and you just hit each creep once, and then one creep dies, and the whole wave's gone.
All right. Well, since Peter introduced the Radiant, I will introduce the bunch of fags on Dire. With the 5 animated gentlemen, we have minTea on the Quap. We have DuskRising on the Ogre. Joey, aka AltemusPrime, on the Tidehunter. Tickle This on Disruptor, and carrying would be Hankinator on one of his 4 heroes that he plays. Luna.
Now, are
Is it
these
shots fired if it's true?
Nah. Is it one of the heroes he plays well, or is it one of the heroes he can play adequately?
I will say he'll be able to farm well on it. Will he be able to play well? That remains to be seen. It depends on how well his teammates can kind of corral his farming habits and can get him to come into team fights when he needs to be.
It's gonna be like
And also,
like what
Apple
Sir
has-
Action Slack says. When your carry is so retarded, all you need to do is just wait till the game gets long enough and hopes that he meanders to the nearest tower and kills it.
Ah, yes. Classic slacks. I find it interesting they're actually running a dual offlane with Tidehunter and Ogre.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like even if they did do a defensive tri-lane for the Radiant, it wouldn't be that scary. So I feel like a Tidehunter or a Ogre Magi could have lived by itself. Maybe they really just want to shut down Reg.
I mean, I think that if it wasn't going against a tri-lane like this, and who knows, maybe Diddles ends up going into the jungle, and actually I'm noticing now Reg's kind of low.
Very low, yeah.
Maybe when it's just a dual lane, it makes more sense, but in a...
Correct.
Screw your clarity, Derek.
Yeah.
But I've played Tide Hunter against Tri-Lanes a little bit recently, and he can struggle until he gets to about level 4, level 5. So,
That's kind of true.
This is just
Once you
added
get those
protection.
upper levels of what's it called, Kraken Shell.
Yeah, once you get level 2, level 3 of Kraken Shell, you can start. Your survivability increases dramatically in lane.
That's very true.
They're going in on Joey right now.
And here comes in the second stun.
And they got him. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That meaty right click from the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's actually pretty hilarious. I guess Reg was pretty unlucky with his Rocket Barrage procs because he was not able to do that one bit of damage with the.
He hit it, I think, the first rocket, and then everything else went to the creep wave. And Crystal Maiden takes it with that hefty 42 right click.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it seems like they're going to be going in on the Viper. It looks like it's just the Ogre Magi alone. Finally, with minTea coming in for the support. Here comes the stun and the slow, and are they going to be able to do it off? As it seems like he's just going to make it to the tower. And with that last right hit, it looks like Queen of Pain is able to get it. I didn't actually expect him to do that much damage. It seemed like he had a decent chunk of HP left. I guess.
I think that last hit coincided with a tick of the dagger.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It must have. I was shocked that they actually went in before the Ogre Magi hit level 2. At least I thought he only had the ignite as far as I was aware, because he had plenty of mana for a stun, but was there one?
He was.
No, he just
he had ignite. And
Okay, so he was level 1. Yeah,
I think he
it's
just
a ballsy play.
He really wanted to use that haste rune that he had, and
that does help.
And seeing as Tide Hunter died, I think he just wanted to make up something for it. Here comes DuskRising coming in the slow, just gonna hit that slow and back off. Rocket Barrage from the Gyrocopter, and it seems like a lot of damage is going in for the Ogre Magi, but Ogre Magi is just decently tanking. Rocket Barrage coming in, can they be able to do that last bit of damage? And DJ.Diddles coming in from the side, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch him up to him, as the Tide Hunter does have boots, and Sand King, actually does have boots on his own. And look at that regeneration from the freaking Ogre Magi, already back to full health from half of his HP before.
Salve.
He did have a salve.
Oh, he used up the salve? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
His regen's good, but not that good.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's almost ridiculous.
6.87 already came?
I did in one game a ring of regen and a couple of mangoes.
Oh my god.
You basically always have a tango on you.
It's like active tranquils, even when you're right-clicking.
And you can take harass, back off, play it safe for a wave or two, and then you're fine again. So, depending on the skill build, he can do stuff like that.
Oh man.
Or the item build, I should say, especially early game.
Tide Hunter was playing a little bit dangerously before. I mean, I think one stun from the Sand King, and he would have been in
over in middle lane.
Up.
Here we go on the Viper again. We got DuskRising at night. No, did he use the stun? I don't know. But
he did use the stun.
That seemed like almost too easy for the Radiant there.
Yeah, and with that, Ogre Magi is going to be picking up his boots, and it seems like, Viper is just not having a good lane for himself over here. Which I think actually Viper does win the matchup against the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, you don't mind the dagger harass too much when it's just 1v1 if you're getting sufficient levels of Curse of Skin, which he is.
Yeah, I mean, even then, you just get one level, and each tick of the Poison Dagger will refresh the tick of the Corrosive Skin. So it's definitely a lot of damage.
That is true. It helps a lot against... I always forget about the way damage over time interacts with that, and how it just screws over the opponent mid laner.
I mean, the big thing to note is that the Dire is rotating in that Ogre to help get those kills, and there's no response from the Radiant.
I'm sure a TP on the Crystal Maiden could have done a fair amount to just deter them.
I mean, especially on that first one. Maybe not necessarily that second one, but definitely that first one. I'd like to just point out that in the Radiant jungle, Diddles just took a triple stack.
Oh, nice.
Full Soul Ring done.
Looks like he's...
Oh, no, that's not... Sorry, I'm still in the Darkseer. Darkseer does have a Soul Ring, though.
Yeah, it seems like he's having much better much better game than the last time I saw him play Darkseer. Oh wait, was it him who played Darkseer? Oh, never mind.
Mousecop?
Anyway, yeah.
I wonder if Diddles is going to go for the Soul Ring, or if he's just going to try to save up straight away for... Oh, and here they go on Joey. And AltemusPrime.
There comes
the stun down, but... Yeah, there's that Rocket Barrage, and they got the damage.
Oh, meanwhile, Derek is coming in. He may have just walked into the wrong lane, motherfucker, as he is trying to maybe pick him off while he has a chance. No, he's just going to use his illusions, deal that harass damage, and here comes in the stun, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Oh, man, they might be able to do it and turn this around, but DJ.Diddles just taking way too much damage right now, and Reg's going to go in, and he definitely needs to back off, because I think one stun and a few tower hits, and he's definitely dead.
I think Derek could have gotten the kill there had he microed his illusions onto the Sand King there. He was low enough. Might, you do some body blocks with it and whatnot, but a lot of spell and a lot of mana, a lot of spells wasted, a lot of mana wasted, a lot of life gone, but everyone kind of gets out on unscathed for the most part.
Tidehunter just continues to go back and continue to farm. Almost level 6, gonna get that Ravage up very soon. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it seems like Mousecop is gonna get gone on. minTea blows the ultimate, but can he be able to finish him off? As it looks like Mousecop is gonna teleport away. Oh, wow, and at the last second, he gets that Lucent Beam, and I figured Mousecop would say bullshit, and there he goes. I completely forgot that, actually, even with the Lucent Beam would have been able to mini stun him if it didn't kill him, canceling that TP. Meanwhile,
I did forget about the additional Night Valve, Ravage bottom lane.
Yeah, they're using it to try and kill that DJ.Diddles, but it looks like, oh man.
They're not going to get anything for it.
Diddles is out, but they got the gyro.
Yeah, they eclipsed the, they glimpsed the gyrocopter back into the, whatchamacallit, the kinetic field, and were able to finish him off. It seems like Disruptor is going for the max glimpse build first, which is decent, I guess, for picking people off.
Well, that'll certainly help with against heroes like Darkseer.
Oh, that's very
just
true.
Search themselves out, as long as there's vision.
So let's check the net worth, as it seems like, I think, well, Luna, actually, who wins in the matchup between Luna and Gyrocopter? I feel like they both do similar things.
I want to say Luna.
I'm going to go with Luna, but it really depends on how the game goes.
Yeah.
Luna with a Manta and a lot of damage will tear apart a gyro, but at the same time, unless the Radiants start harassing that dire carry, he's just going to out-farm, no problem.
Yeah.
Even with as turbulent as this Radiant safe lane's been back and forth between the Tide and the Gyro, Gyro's still dying a couple times. So
he's also getting farms denied. I think Luna's had, like, sure, she has to deal with Ion Shell, I guess, but she has high enough damage and a mostly spammable Lucid Beam
Okay, we're
to kill it if need be.
We're going to see an engagement gone on the Reg. He's all alone this time. Here comes the slow and the stun and the rocket barrage. Oh man, he might be able to turn this around.
He's turning
Needs that fairy fire, but it looks like he's definitely
going to
die.
go down, but he got it one. And that vacuum.
Level 2 vacuum, kind of underwhelming.
I mean, the rotation came in a little bit late. I'm surprised. Diddles, where is Diddles? He did come to lane. He should have noticed them coming because they were harassing him in the jungle here while he was farming that double stack.
And if nothing else, Reg should have known because, or I mean, he had the obligation. He should have told Reg that they were coming, but he should have known that they were coming through the jungle because DJ.Diddles definitely saw them and definitely even attacked them too.
Speaking of Sand King, we look at his build. He has gone for the arcane boots first. What do you think? What do you guys think of that? I kind of prefer the blink rush.
I actually prefer neither. I feel like you can get away with a lot more with a Soul Ring. Soul Ring, especially since they're playing this greedy, allows you to be more active early game, where the mana boots don't, and going for that blink, even if you have uninterrupted jungle, it's still going to take you 10-12 minutes at the best.
Oh, and
now after Soul Ring, would you prefer like blink next? Because I don't necessarily consider like Soul Ring as the first item that you like it's like along the way. Like I would still call it blink first if you got Soul Ring before that.
I've actually in my games gone against getting blinks in general. I'll go Soul Ring, Mana Boots, Aether Lens, and then the Soul Ring allows you to be more active. You can farm a little bit better with getting kills as opposed to just trying to be stagnant in the jungle. And the Mana Boots build into that Aether Lens, which opens up, bots, or if you want to go for something like a Tranquils, you can do that and be more active, be that kind of battle Sand King, as I've heard it called.
I find it often enough. I guess I might not be comfortable enough on the hero yet, but I find that Blink Dagger for me is what allows me to be active because I have a lot more confidence with it. I know I can set up stuff better, and so I find it to be a way to secure like kills and farm essentially into those later items.
No, and that's definitely true. Part of my we got a big engagement middle lane.
We got a Ravage looking to happen.
He really wants this Ravage, and it looks like they
Greg.
might be able to get out of there relatively fine. Here comes in the Sentry Ward, and it looks like DJ.Diddles is going to get out of there. Mousecop walking into very dangerous territory, and it looks like she might just barely be able to get out of there.
No,
He's going to stand and fight now.
No,
oh man! If Olaf had stood up there and done freezing field, it would have been amazing. Actually, just the way they're all clumped up.
I don't know if he would have been in range, but if he was, that definitely would have been.
I think it would have been. Range is pretty big on that.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely would have.
Yeah, that's sad.
Maybe not from the high ground. You'd have to be back up there, but it would have been close, to say the least.
Now, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so like we were saying before, it seems like now Luna is #1 in the net worth with 5,400, and Gyrocopter is #6 in the net worth with only 3,000, actually behind the Tidehunter. So it seems like Gyrocopter has not been doing very well. They have been able to shut him down pretty well.
The Gyro just rotated to that mid lane, and then his entire team ran for their lives, especially under the threat of that Ravage. So that's how much time he was not farming.
Wow. If you look at the last hits comparison for the carries, we have 37, I think, on the Gyro, 34 on the Gyro, and 86 on the Luna.
Okay, that's a big difference.
That it goes to show what the offlanes were able to accomplish.
Finally a kill on Jesse over there, as it looks like they might actually go for a second kill. Here comes in the Ravage to save in the Ogre Magi, and we're going to get the ultimate from Crystal Maiden. Oh, wow! Derek tried to go in and try and stop that, but paid for it with his life. I think he actually would have got out of there if he just left.
I think you're right.
That was a good gank from the Radiant there.
Yeah, it started off as just a whatever gank, but with the 2 rotations in by the Dire team, they got a lot out of that for nothing. No one died, too. And they're all going to just get out of there.
Your mid got a kill, and both of your supports got a kill, and if Radiant want to stay in this game, a lot of it's going to have to come from DJ.Diddles on that Sand King, and it does look like he's going for that Blink Rush after the mana boots.
Oh, there it is.
Picks it up.
There you go.
But to get back to that quick question on the Sand King build, the one thing I do now, since I forego that Blink Dagger, is rush the Ags. Just because that range is ridiculous, and the added slow you can get from Caustic Finale on that stun just makes a huge difference.
Here we see from minTea, we see him opting for a 1 point in his ulti, even at level 11. Do you think that was a misskill? Do you think that's intentional?
Oh, I 100% think that's a misskill.
That's definitely a misskill.
Yeah, it's not a hero I think of as he's not Ember Spirit.
There's absolutely no reason, I think, unless you really don't want to get that mana increase.
The taunting from Mom Spaghetti as he all chats fuck Jesse as they gank him and get another triple kill up on the top lane there. So
yeah, you see some strong rotations coming out of the Radiant. Their landing stage was not the best.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
They've made some good moves towards the Luna. Ooh, and if you look at Luna, you see she's picked up Boots of Travel.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Boots of Travel.
That
is a very questionable
build.
item.
That's a very greedy build.
Yeah.
I am not convinced it is the build to go.
Yeah, and he's definitely paying for it now. You could tell that he's definitely paying for that choice.
This is one of those things that often comes into be a factor with Hankinator, is he does sometimes his item builds. Well, he sometimes goes those questions.
Oh man, and he's just gonna come back, blink, teleport in, and just die for it again. My goodness.
I don't know if the Blink Dagger had been shown previously on the Sand King. I guess it probably had been.
I believe it had been.
Yeah, that's a big misplay. I think whatever lead the Dire had is almost it's made up inside of the Gyrocopter per se, but mentally you just had your Luna die 3 times in 5 minutes, twice back to back.
Well, not to mention because he did go that greedier Boots of Travel build, that's a, what, 2,400 gold item that doesn't do anything for you?
Because you'd have boots anyways.
Okay, so a 2,000 gold item that does nothing for you.
Yeah, especially when you're dead.
Well, I mean, it saves you the cost of TPs over the duration of this game, where, you know, maybe if he has treads, he lives.
Yeah, so you know what else saves the cost of TPs? Staying alive and farming.
Also true.
Yeah.
And just after he was killed in that lane, going back there right away while they were still showing.
Oh
and
no!
Mid lane.
This is another death on Jesse. Oh man,
We
he
see
must.
the Luna picked off again.
He is basically just. He has spent the
Is
last.
he tilted?
I don't know,
He's-
but at this point, he
Oh.
spent most of the game dead. Not most of the game, but
He
most
has
of the last
4
like
deaths.
4 minutes dead.
In the last, like, 4 minutes, yeah.
And the one
I
thing,
would say he's tilting.
the one thing this has allowed to happen is that now, you know, a couple minutes ago we saw Hankinator at the top of that net worth chart with 5,400. Now he's 4th with 5,500. So
Yeah.
he is
That's-
essentially stopped and allowed both the Sand King and the Gyro to gain on him in a sense. Right now, 4 of the top 6 are on Radiant, so they're actually looking pretty good now after those numerous successful gank attempts.
Yeah, it's been definitely doing a lot of work for them. I mean, now you can actually see Viper just doing a considerable amount of damage, and you know the rest of the supports are starting to hit that mid-game, mid-game powerhouse, whatchamacallit, that mid-game time frame where they're starting to do a lot of damage to these enemy heroes. Despite the fact, even though they're tanky, the stuns and all the nuke damage is able to bring them down.
Yeah, once the Viper got that mech up on him and was able to get his level 11, just enough innate level tank, that he's become, a problem for the Dire.
Ha! So true. I was actually when I was working on my data to make a matchup calculator. I wanted to
I'm
see
so excited for that.
the win rates between Jesse and Reg. Yeah, I'm
carries.
I might actually ask an Excel for him because I'm having a bit of trouble with it, but
Actually,
we'll see.
now that you bring that 1 point up in the stats, that might be the reason why Diddles is not carrying.
Oh.
To help mess with Jesse.
Well, no, sometimes Reg can be a little, I don't want to say stubborn because it's not that, but he gets very, pig-headed in wanting to do something, especially when it comes to proving Jesse wrong.
Oh.
The carry role.
That's true, because, whatchamacallit, I remember Tim was, saying, oh, I guess I'll carry now, right? And he took it
Reg
as
is not a fan of that.
He took it as a slight, because he just said,
Yes.
it seemed like he
The
just said
game that
everyone...
we just had lost was with Reg carrying,
Yeah.
and it seems more like an attack on his ability to do so.
Which it wasn't, but...
No, exactly.
Yeah, I would have...
Reg is certainly a carry player that will play with that chip on his shoulder and tries to use it to motivate him. And, there are times where it causes him to tilt. But, he will use anything that he can to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an unfortunate kill on Diddles in the top lane where he sandstormed in the range of
that's right.
Dire Sentry Ward.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he was able to finish up an Effluence should he want to cannibalize his arcane boots. I'd say
he
it's
could
very
do that.
worth it.
I mean, it depends. His team is very mana dependent, so he may want to hold on to them.
But they do have the Crystal Maiden.
This is true.
And meanwhile, we're going to see maybe an engagement. Oh, man, preemptively blowing that ultimate. Can it be able to do a bit more damage? Here comes the... Sand King with the ult. That's some massive damage as 2 heroes just go down immediately. Here comes the Ravage, trying to get that last hit to make some, thing out of it.
Buy back on the Queen.
And it looks like she's just going to blink and come back in here. But most of them are already dead.
Big damage.
I don't know. The buyback seems possibly... I don't know if it's worth it, but it is
Got a
not
return
bad.
kill, but we'll see if it's...
Oh, no. This could be a disaster. Wow, she just barely got away.
A good blink out, yeah.
Very good reaction by minTea. That could have been disastrous if she tried to fight it. Because, sometimes the instinct for a lot of people is to just stay there and fight and not run away when they're lost.
Half second later, she was going to be dead on that Queen.
A strong ulti by the Crystal Maiden, I'd say. It was a good way to sub-secure that and zone away the rest from re-engaging.
You see, I thought that was... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, that looked like a great panic ulti.
Yes.
Because it's one of those things where, if she just keeps chasing me, I'm gonna die. So fuck it.
Yeah. And
I like the buffs Crystal Maidens received lately, though. The lowering of the cooldown at all levels makes it so that using it in that kind of engagement, it's already up in 45 seconds again. So, though it's a panic and maybe it could have been used better at a different point in the fight, it's not like it's going to cause a problem for later fights, such as a level 1 black hole.
Absolutely not whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh man, makes me so sad whenever I only have a level 1 Lion ult, and it's just like, 16 years till next Lion ult.
What's that? 180 seconds?
Yeah,
160. I think.
It's pretty damn long. 2 minutes.
It's miserable. And I'd just like to point out that with that ward that Derek just placed, I believe he blocked that camp.
I think you're right.
That's one of the new changes on that dire jungle.
Oh no,
it
it spawned.
So
I know the
fire.
sentry ward placement is fine, correct?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
this could be disastrous. They managed to kill off minTea, and that's going to be a dieback from him. Well, not a dieback, but a extremely long death timer. And it looks like the majority of the heroes, except for Viper's there, so I think the Radiant definitely need to back off, because almost all the dire team is there, and they don't have one of the biggest damage dealers.
Was that a solo kill, or was that...
Yes, it was. DJ.Diddles managed to snipe, I think, minTea kind of wanted to juke here, and then DJ.Diddles went right through here and caught him in the stun and managed to finish him off.
I'd like to point our attention over to the net worth graph, where we see 4 members of the Radiant in the top 4 spots.
Oh yeah, this has been definitely turning around to be Radiant's game. It seemed like Dire was not doing very well. What?
Well, I'm looking at the net worth graph right now, and at its height, 5 animated gentlemen were just under 2,500 gold advantage, and now the Radiant Alliance, or Black, are over 7,500. So that
Nice.
swing is in full effect and has been for about the last 10 minutes.
And Reg proving that... Oh no, I'm not going to bash on him. Yeah, apparently Pathing killed him. I thought he may have done it strategically to avoid someone because we weren't really paying attention, but it seems like it was just a honest mistake. Meanwhile, it looks like DJ.Diddles is in the middle of a lot of enemies over here. Are they going to be able to find him out? As it looks like they're going to get stunned.
It seems so.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And let's see if Mom Spaghetti can get away from this now.
Nope.
Yeah, it looks like
There
he
comes
might get
Cage,
caught too.
and it looks like he's just going to get finished off. Oh man, OlafHaraldson tries to do the ultimate, but actually gets silenced. And it looks like that Ravage was blown a little preemptively. And yeah,
I would definitely say so.
Ultimate from the Luna. Can he be able to get away? Nope.
Yep.
It looks like he's not going to be able to. And it looks like DuskRising.
Strong TP from the Ogre.
Wow, actually, I did not expect him to get out of there. And it looks like it's going to be 2 for 2 with... Oh, yep.
2 for 2, and I'll say that the Radiant got a
good 2.
Yeah.
They made it even though the Dire won that trade, and the fact that they got a Viper and a Sand King, which are ahead of all their entire team on the net worth chart, so they got more out of it, but you still lost your mid and your carry.
Yeah, exactly.
And that Luna ult was kind of suspect just because...
That was a little early.
It was a little early, and it seemed wasted because he died before it finished. I mean, there wasn't a lot there for it to damage.
I honestly think it might have been a little too late. Because, yeah, I think if he had maybe used it a little bit earlier, kind of trying to go in fight, he kind of just used it when he was running away and not using it during the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I can completely understand using it and looking at the whole fight in entirety, you know, between the only good ulti that I saw there was the Disruptor ulti that barely canceled that CM ult.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Ravage kind of whiffed for the most part. So it was just, once that Ravage whiffed, they should have pulled out, and at that time they would have gotten away with a 2-0 or maybe a 2-1.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, it looks like they're going to catch DJ.Diddles again. Here comes in the silence, and can he be able to get away? Does he have the stun up? No, he doesn't, and he doesn't have the Sandstorm up too. Can he get it off? Just barely gets it off, but ultimately...
Takes down to the dagger.
Dagger.
And Quap's scream goes to Invis anyways.
Yeah, so there's no way he was going to get out of there.
I learned that the hard way.
And, you know, we are 25, 26 minutes into this game, and this is where you start to see the wasted net worth on the Luna, where even though he's starting to pull himself back into the game, that choice on bots was just far too detrimental. He could have gotten those treads or even gotten a very early Yasha instead of the bots. So he really has to play catch up and farm.
Yeah.
And to compound that, do you like the idea of a minTea pickup first? I'm not sure if I think you need the BKB.
I mean, he definitely needs the BKB, but at the same time, he needs to be able to put out as much damage as he can.
Yeah, what he needs to
at
do
this point.
What he needs to do is honestly rely on his team to set up a good initiation, and then do that damage. Then it'll definitely be worth it. Because even if he has the BKB, he'll be throwing peanuts at people, and they'll just like shrug it off afterwards. I mean, he could maybe kill like a CM by himself. But I think at this point he just needs damage and just needs to rely on his team to set up a good Ravage, a good, static field and stuff like that.
I mean, they are the team that certainly has the better overall wombo combo between Ravage and the Disruptor ultis, Queen Scream, and...
Yeah, the kinetic field too.
The kinetic field and, Eclipse. But it's just so much harder to pull all of those off to even get a good amount of damage if you get most of them, as opposed, let alone trying to get all of them off.
Yeah, not to mention the Sand King is very hard to get. He's probably going to be chilling in the back, blinking in, and using Aether Lens, so it's definitely going to be very difficult to do. And he actually has a Veil now.
Yeah,
so
the Veil, yep.
Doing massive amounts of damage, but it doesn't matter if they're able to get the ulti silence off. So
I actually really like that Veil pickup. They do a tremendous amount of
Crystal
magical
Maiden
damage.
ulti, all of Crystal Maiden really. Gyro ulti.
yeah, this is just a magic
Wall.
fight.
Wall, the Ion Shell, Viper.
All of Sand King.
I mean, I really, really like that pickup, and I see that pickup saying more of, okay, we're done just kind of screwing around. We're going to end this game soon, as opposed to going for something like a Force Staff or even an Ags on the Sand King, which kind of lets you feel like, okay, we still need to gank a little bit and control this game.
Right.
And if I had to guess right now, the Radiant are going to go straight into Roche.
And it looks like the Dire know that they might be going to Roche, so they pick up that smoke, maybe to try and catch him off. But it looks like the Radiant isn't going to go for Roche. And
That's actually surprising.
I mean, it's a bit dangerous. Honestly, it's not like they wiped anyone yet, so I could understand why they wouldn't go for Roche. And
That is true, but at the same time, they do have a good number of wards set up around Roche, so they could have felt safe going for it.
Yeah.
Turns out it's the right call not to, but they might get ambushed here on that.
Oh man, Crystal Maiden just pops. Beautiful vacuum wall from him, and it looks like they're just gonna melt.
The dueling wombo combos from both sides in the magical burst. And it looks like, I don't know how. Well, they lost Tankinator again, but just barely.
Wow, that actually seemed like it was going to go a lot worse for the Dire team. It seemed like the Radiant got off a decent amount of good counter initiation, but it looks like it's just going to be 3 heroes who are left alive from the Dire team, and a very good exchange. Let's check out the change in the net worth. It's a minus 500 for the Radiant team and a plus 2,600 for the Dire, with a 6,000 positive for the Dire team swing and a 3,000 basically for the Radiant. So definitely a very good fight for the Dire. They really needed something like that, and very good call. Unfortunately, if Hankinator hadn't died that early, he really needs as much money as he can get, but it just happened to be that way.
Yeah, that's really the only downside to that team fight, is that Hankinator, by dying, still gained very minimally in such a good swing for his team.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And by no means are the Dire out of this yet.
Oh yeah.
This is still, within reach. It's Radiant has a small, lead in net worth, but they had a lot of momentum going for them, and now that momentum has definitely been quelled after that lost team fight.
Oh man, Queen of Pain just barely got that Arcane Rune, actually. I did not expect him to get that. And it looks like he's just going to back off, as 3 heroes for the Radiant team were right around the corner. Don't think he knew that, but I don't think he cared. He just wanted to get the hell out of there.
The one thing to note that while 3 on the Radiant are harassing that Queen around that rune, Hankinator's in his jungle, not necessarily farming all that well, where Reg was pushing that bottom lane and farming extremely well and almost has that BKB done.
Well, at this point, it seems like Reg and Jesse are very close to each other in net worth, only separated by roughly 60 gold. So, but, I mean, creep kills are always better than jungle kills, but now, yeah, just with that, Jesse is now #1 in net worth. Not for long, though, I'm guessing.
I mean, you gotta keep in mind that 2,000 of that net worth on the Luna is those bots.
That's
and,
true.
You know, those bots are great late game, but on certain heroes like Ember and heroes that can take advantage of that bottle, but
Tinker
is another good one, but it's just very questionable on the Luna.
That's very true. Who already has a really high move speed, too.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
fair.
I mean, realistically, the only reason you would get bots is to save on TP costs, where
Jesse's very stingy.
yeah, but I mean at the same time, I mean look at how his farm has accelerated when he got that Manta. I mean he's already back at the top, like you mentioned, Peter.
Yep.
So he could have been that much farther ahead,
Right.
if he opted for a more farm-oriented build.
Yeah, that's very true, actually, BROTE, what you said. The Boots of Travel may have saved him money on TP scrolls, but what it didn't save him money was the time he spent dead.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, you know, and I've found oftentimes, especially in games that aren't going well, when your TP is on cooldown because you've been killed in lane after TPing there, it forces you to kind of calm down a little bit as opposed to those reduced bots cooldown time that by the time he's back up, he's already back in lane and getting ganked again. So, because with those bots being off cooldown and TPing back to those lanes straight away may have cost him an additional death or two.
Yeah, that's very true. As we did see in that 4 minutes.
Yeah, in the beginning when he in the top lane where he TP'd right back and died immediately.
And then right to mid lane and died immediately, right afterwards.
Okay, looks like 4 heroes of the Dire team are going to be pushing onto this tier 2 after very quickly picking up that tier 1, which has surprisingly been still alive. So normally the bottom tier 1 is the first to go.
However, Diddles is down there. I'm not sure if he's trapped, but he's good. Although, he might be in trouble now.
That was greedy to stay there, I think. I figured he would pop Sandstorm and just continue walking straight away.
Yeah, pop the Sandstorm move, and he buys back right away. I don't know if that was necessarily needed.
Yeah, I think the Dire might be happy just to try to minimize losses.
Oh, Ravage is wasted, and it seemed like without much teamwork from the other team, and it seems like that'll be wasted. As it looks like Mom Spaghetti is going to be gone on and killed off on top. Tries to go for the solo kill on the Hankinator, but looks like he's going to have to pay for that.
Yeah, I don't know why the Viper was trying to do what he was doing up on top lane alone. He's definitely a hero, especially as the mech carrier that needs to be with his team.
Okay, meanwhile, it seems like with that they're going to be pushing... Oh, give me 1 sec.
Going to be pushing that Dire off lane and going for that bottom tier 3. They force out the glyph, and the Radiant are happy to back off. Now might be a good time to try to go sneak in a Roche, or maybe set up an ambush around the Roche pit. I don't know. What do you think, BROTE?
I think probably the Roche is going to be the next objective for both teams. So trying to pick out a gank there / ambush is good in that you probably win a team fight if you're taking it on your terms, and you can easily transition it into a Roche, which can compound your advantage. So it's probably the best next objective for both.
The Radiant have definitely put a focus on getting vision around there. One with one ward that's actually about to expire by the Dire secret shop, and one on the normal ward spot in the river.
Wait, did I have my push Tucky down for that?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I was like, wait, didn't quite realize if I had or not. I thought I was on control for a second.
I want to point out that this tide is slowly getting very tanky with the blink into Guardian's Greaves, and looks like he's just about finished with a pipe as well. which is actually a very good thing for the Dire to have. Both of them, with the amount of magical damage that is coming out.
To help neutralize the effect of that hood also, or the veil rather.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what's going on top? Up in the... Looks like they are... A little bit of a skirmish, but nothing really happening. Oh, Reg comes in to pick off the Disruptor as he's TPing away. That was a good little snag by him. Yeah, it looks like Reg is actually going into a butterfly as he's picked up the Talisman of Evasion. That's a very good call, especially against the Luna.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
And they transition that skirmish in the Dire jungle into a tier 2 push on the top lane and
Top tower
taking the last of the outer towers for the Dire. So Dire are going to start having to make base defenses in order, and playing very safe outside of it. No, I definitely understand why Derek always needs friggin' water when he's casting.
That's why I wanted cola, man. I wanted cola.
Oh my god, now I need to get some root beer after this.
Yeah, let's go for let's separately go for our own drink runs.
Alright, I'll go do that right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's just me and you, Pino, then.
I'm quite alright with that. So it looks like things have kind of cooled off a little bit, where each side is staying on their side of the map. Be interesting to see what causes the next fight to happen, whether it be a Roche or Dire pushing for the high ground there. What do you think the Radiant's next objective should be?
Let's see. I mean, honestly, with their lineup, it seems like it's going to be very hard to be pushing up. So I think they should do what the Dire just did, which is to smoke and try and get a pick off. Because I don't think they have that good of a siege capability unless they get like a really good vacuum wall out of nowhere, I think. So yeah. I mean, they do have a decent amount of blinks. We could see DJ.Diddles like YOLO suicide blink in and maybe try and do some damage there. But it looks like they're going to get almost killed. Oh, nope, they're just going to back off at the right time.
Spidey senses were tingling.
Yeah.
Although Mousecop blinks forward. And it looks like, yep, they've got him.
Oh man, puts up that pipe and that Shiva as he is decently tanky. Can they do anything about it? Beautiful wall, and yeah, oh man. Beautiful wall vacuum.
To be a failed gank attempt as... Well, they're still trying to get him. Little bastard keeps running.
Oh man, great response by the Sand King using that ultimate to come in, but it looks like it wasn't enough, and they're going to pick him off,
They got the tide out of it. And here comes Reg.
Returned.
He better pop his BKB if he wants to fight. Come on, Reg.
There it goes. And he's going to be able to pick off that Luna by himself.
He might be able to clean up here.
Oh, Reg,
that's strong.
Being an awesome carry. Can he get the last
Competent.
one? Derek is totally dead. There's no way he's getting out of there. He's only delaying the inevitable, and Reg is going to pick up. Is that a triple kill?
Yep, he got a triple kill there. And, actually, no. One of the Disruptor was actually killed by the Darkseer illusion from the wall. So he was denied the triple, but he is on a killing spree, and Reg is large and in charge, and just barrel-assing down that bottom lane.
Yeah.
Now,
by himself.
He has the money for a butterfly if he wants it. Probably sacrificing buyback.
I think he already bought it.
Oh, okay, yeah, he did sacrifice buyback to be able to finally afford it, but that's fine for him. Luna could also forego buyback and complete an MKB.
Oh man,
Knowing
this could be
Jesse,
disastrous actually for him to pick him off.
What could the play be?
Here comes in the slow,
if
and unless he has a BKB or something, he's not going to be able to get out of this alive.
He's doing a lot of damage, though.
Just not enough, and the creeps
finish it off.
The creeps finish him off.
And the taunts, the alt chat taunt, Reg really playing on that NA Dota lifestyle.
Yeah.
I know he should have wasted the VKB. I mean, both of them honestly should have done it, but I think.
Did Reg have his up though?
Let me check.
It's up now.
It's up now, but I don't know if it was at the time. I feel like with especially how much of Queen's damage is magical, he would have popped it.
Well,
yeah,
actually,
the ulti had already hit, and that goes through anyways. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The scream already hit, and the wave, it didn't matter. So yeah, maybe it wouldn't have mattered. Oh man.
So all said and done, after that little, death pack suicide those two had there on
Lover
Dyers.
suicide.
Yeah, by the Dire Ancients. That means that all 5 heroes on each side died from the start of that last big team fight in bottom lane. So it's kind of a... Ooh.
Oh, whoa.
Getting that ulti off. Can he be able to do a little bit more damage, as it looks like he's going to get glimpsed back and maybe caged in, and that's going to be a double kill for, well, double kill in general for the Dire team for nothing.
The pathing excuse from Avery.
Yeah, I mean, pathing is just one of the greatest things about Dota.
Excuse.
Oh, Mousecop being a little extra ballsy here.
Yeah, it looks
And
like
it's
the
going to
Radiant.
cost him his life. It looks like they're tilting.
Oh, Game of Throws, man. Game of Throws. And that's going to be 3 heroes basically dead for nothing.
And, I mean, Hankinator did pop his BKB there, which may not have been needed, but just like to point out that he did, in fact, forego that buyback and finish that Monkey King bar, which is starting to pay off.
Strong move, yeah.
Yeah,
And he's already farmed up enough for buyback after that fight.
Absolutely, with those 3 kills.
Yeah, it's definitely needed. I mean, anytime you see a butterfly, it's just such a pain to deal with, that evasion chance. We're going to see the ultimate coming in from Reg. Can he clean up, as he's dealing a lot of damage to everybody? But he's deep in a loaded enemy territory. He could pay for this. Ravaging, nice Ravage, and Reg's just going to die.
He's going to have to buy back if they want. No, it's too late. They have to lose the racks.
That's
a 5-man team wipe. Well, not really. I mean, Mousecop was already... I mean, I'm sorry. Viper was already dead.
And so was Mousecop.
Oh, man. That was just really unfortunate for the Gyrocopter. He almost had an amazing setup, but he went in alone. There was no backup.
Yeah,
and
I can understand him throwing out the ulti there to try to scare them off that tower, but they should have left it at that.
He also went in no BKB.
And now Reg has to buy back.
From that, yeah.
Oh, no. If he dies from this... Okay, finally, he's just going to blow that BKB now, as he should, honestly.
And they missed the wave.
And it looks like there's not going to be much going on, though, from it, though. They'll repel them.
Yeah, but they definitely wanted at least 1 or 2 kills to kind of make it worth it for him to buy back.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
But yeah, I mean, the most important thing is they have the racks here. And man, this game is just a freaking seesaw-ed.
Yeah, and this is going to complete the comeback, so to speak, and now momentum is definitely in Dire's favor. I'd like to point out that on the net worth graph, I mentioned earlier that Radiant were up by 7,500. Now Dire is up by over 5,000. So it's a pretty big swing in the last 20 minutes or so. And Hankinator is just starting to run away with the net worth lead individually, as those bots did hurt him in that mid game, but he's overcome that at this point.
Yeah,
I'd also like to point out just the last hits. Not that relevant. It's more of a personal boast, but he is at 403 compared to Reg's 290.
And that shows you that his team allowed him to farm.
Yeah, it's more of a team stat, actually.
They lost all their outer towers, and Jesse did die a few times in there, but 408 last hits, shows that he was still farming at a rapid pace.
Yeah,
and
it's not a little.
And this all started, his farming increase all started once he got that manta.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
Yep. Got to fight mid lane with Diddles in trouble, and he's probably going to go down. Yep, there he goes. And let's see if they try to catch Mousecop here on the Dark Seer. I think he's away, especially where they don't have vision for that glimpse. But that's, a minute with the Sand King down, who's a big part of their potential base defense.
Okay, and it looks like they're just going to go for Roche after that kill. Very good call from them, I think.
It's a smart, cautious play, especially with how team fights have been going sometimes.
Yeah, it seems like whoever gets the initiation wins.
I'd like to point out here that Diddles is getting, on the Sand King, looks like an Octarine core.
Really?
Which is very greedy for Sand King, and honestly doesn't help him all that much.
Yeah, I think Ags is a better pickup than that.
I mean, Ags, or honestly, with how much magical damage is still coming out at this point in the game, a BKB.
Oh man, I don't know
And
why.
crowd control. Yeah.
I don't know why Jesse didn't just go for the right click. He does do a mini stun. He could have canceled that TP, despite the fact that he had BKB up, right?
BKB does not. MKB does not pierce BKB anymore.
Oh really? Okay.
That has been changed. Yes, the mini stun does not, nor does the damage.
That's
So
kind of dumb.
Is Basher the same way?
Basher does go through. The damage is magical, but the bash is physical.
Okay.
Interesting.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah, I always knew the bash went through BKB. I just didn't know that it worked like that
has been
specifically.
destroyed.
Yes.
So it looks like the Dire are going to kind of reset here as they push out their top and mid lanes. After taking that tier 2 tower. It looks like, looking at the items, that DuskRising is about to finish an Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, he is quite close to that.
Oh yeah,
He is just the point booster away, and it looks like
200.
Joey on the Tide has started to work on his refresher, as well as Tickle on the Disruptor going for the Lotus Orb.
Oh, you know, I'm actually very disappointed he didn't go Ags on Tidehunter, just like your brother did that one game, BROTE. I was just like, wait, what the heck is this? It's a Blastoise again? I'm like, who goes Ags on Tidehunter? Honestly, isn't it even worth the 4,000 investment?
It's a cool item. It's not core, as far as I'm aware.
And I'm just looking at it now. After all the shenanigans that happened with the Dire pushing down and taking Roche and taking that tier 2 bottom, Ankanator suddenly has a Scotty.
Oh wow, that's ridiculous actually.
So he is quite tanky now.
And buyback.
Yeah,
Plus buyback.
I can definitely see him getting like a Satanic next or something else and being just 6-slotted.
Although, as we say that, Reg just finished his Satanic on his Gyrocopter, and he is fairly tanky as well. But he does not have buyback, although his is probably still on cooldown.
Yes,
his is on cooldown for another minute 34. So I think this next team fight's definitely going to come down to who gets the jump.
Yeah, and this could actually be the game-defining team fight too.
Radiant's top
I mean,
tower is under attack.
the Radiant team can't buy back, and so this could definitely just determine the game right here.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Especially with Aegis on Dire, it does seem that they have the advantage. Double damage just popped on the Quap as well.
Oh man,
Radiant's
things
top
like
tower
it just
is
looks like
under
it's going to be on Dire side, but you know that uphill is just so strong in game.
And you know what? The Radiant do have good base defense between all their magical ultis and
The vacuum wall.
Vacuum Wall, Sand King with that Veil. It's definitely not going to be the easiest thing in the world as we see the Lotus Orb now completed, put on the Quap.
They're going to have to do something, or else they're going to get this tower basically for free.
I mean, I almost feel like they might need to. However, Dire jumps in, and
Oh man.
Here comes a Blink ultimate, and it looks like this fight is just going in the Radiant's favor, as most of them are taking a decent amount of damage.
going to work. Keeping Reg in here and killing.
Oh, and Jesse falls.
Oh man, a great ultimate by Crystal Maiden, doing a decent amount of damage, and what looked like an amazing fight for the Dire just turned around completely. I mean, it seemed like they got the Blink stun. It seemed like they got. Oh man, this is just disastrous, actually. So what do you think happened there? It seemed like the Dire got it off as they Blink stun, were dealing a lot of damage to the tower without any response from the Radiant or anything like that. And now that's a 5-man team wipe.
Well, they ignored the Satanic on the gyro.
There were a number of things there. They got very greedy after getting that tier 3, and minTea on the quad just jumped in very deep. Even with the Aegis, that was very deep, and it allowed the Sand King that was hiding in the trees to just come in and cut the team fight in half as the Ravage was going off, which kind of negated its effects for an extended period.
Looks like it could potentially be a dieback. Nope, it looks like he's just going to barely get away.
But at the same time, it's a 5-on-2, and outside of the Viper at half health and the Gyro at half health, they're still very healthy.
Yeah, and
they can push.
Yeah, the gyrocopter can very easily gain his health back with that satanic, and almost it coming off cooldown, so we could see him be full very quickly. And it looks like the rest of the team are coming back very soon.
In that last team fight in the Radiant base, do you think it would have been good, as Hankinator died very early on, he had buyback and boots of travel. Would there have been any merit in him getting back into the fight?
Honestly, if minTea didn't jump in so far, I would say yes.
Because the
Ravage got off, and it seemed like the other damage got off. So if they're able to do like to find that gyrocopter and kill him, I think it definitely would have been worth it. Like right now, if they got in the the Ogre Magi to blink in and catch that gyrocopter and kill him off first, I think it would have been definitely worth it for Luna to buy back and come in. But minTea died, and then their team just fell apart.
And as we're talking, Radiant got team wiped for a range Rax.
Oh man, what kind of seesaw game is this? I mean, they do all have their buybacks up except for the Sand King. So we could see another fight going all the way into here and ultimately wiping another 5-man wipe.
It was definitely a case of that they stuck around for way too long. Especially once the team fight broke out. It was only the gyro that was able to sustain a lot of the early burst. And then it went downhill from there. We see the Quap trying to snag a Rax, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. And he does force out a buyback.
Okay, well, I guess I'll use this time to thank our sponsors. This game is brought to you by 100% orange juice. 100% orange juice, 1% orange juice, 99% rage. I do that every time we pause. Every time.
It's a good sponsor. It's an accurate sponsor.
I agree. You know, I would put up a little video commercial, but right now my setting is set to game capture, which has been doing better for my recording, I think, so. Anyway, so, meanwhile, while we're paused, how do you think the predictions are going to go now? Like, I mean, I can't even believe how topsy-turvy this game has been. Like, it seems like one team always has like a huge advantage. They push for basically the racks and then just get wiped.
It's definitely out of control.
It's out of control.
Is the only way I can really put it. Like, wow, I'm looking at the net worth graph right now. 5 animated gentlemen had a 10k lead.
Oh my goodness!
And there was also a period of 13 minutes where Radiant did not get a kill or an objective. As shown by the graph also. And
that 10k lead was essentially wiped out with that base defense that the Radiant had. And it's back to an even game. I will say that
it just jumped back to a 6k lead.
It's probably catching up from that 5-man wipe.
Oh man, they need to do something. It looks like he's just going to get a Rax for free. Oh my goodness. Where's the response?
That's a free Rax.
Well, I mean, they're all dead actually, so... Man, now after all is said and done, it seems like Dire got a much better exchange after those two fights, because they were able to get a Rax out of that for basically nothing. He just walked in there, said this is mine, and left.
Past 10k again.
I mean, the one thing I will say was that was actually a good job by the Dire there, splitting the attention of the heroes that were up. That just allowed Hankinator on that Luna, which can just tear through bases, no problem.
Yeah.
To sneak that Rax, so to speak.
Yeah, he just walked in, said this was mine, and then he just took it with him. As it looks like, at this point, I don't really know. I guess I'm more favored toward the Dire now, because I feel like the Luna does out-carry. Actually, I don't know. I mean, the one item, the MKB definitely basically just nerfs the butterfly. It's
right.
It's just once someone has an MKB, sometimes I feel like the butterfly is useless, considering that the rest of the damage done by the Dire is all magical. Like, no one's going to be right-clicking. No one's going to be honestly expecting to kill.
Quap.
Exactly. No one's going to be expecting to kill the gyrocopter with
the
his
one
right
thing
clicks.
I will say is that while the Luna is essentially 6-slotted, as he's working on finishing up that Satanic now, the Gyro's not.
That's a very true point.
He's 5-slotted right now, and this is that farm difference coming into effect where
An 8K difference in farm.
Is it that big now? Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Jesus. That's an MKB. Plus bots.
Or he could just go for the rapier at this point.
I mean, I think the Dire are going to need the rapier, and it looks like he's starting to go it. I mean,
You mean the Radiant?
Yes, I'm sorry, the Radiant. He could be going for that all-in play with the rapier.
Uh-oh. Well,
It's
sorry to cut you off, but it looks like the Radiant do know that he's going for the Roshan, and it looks like they're just going to come in. DJ.Diddles coming in by himself with the ultimate blown by Luna, and it's going to be all wasted. Well, not necessarily wasted, but all used on that Sand King, and they're going to be able to move off. Mom Spaghetti deep in enemy territory, deep within 3 heroes, and it looks like he's just going to back off as OlafHaraldson tries to come in, but the Ravages, and that's going to pay for, he's going to pay for his, you know, trying to save him with his life. Double Ravage used, and Mousecop's going to go down. That's 3 heroes dead, 4 heroes dead. Where the heck was the Gyrocopter? Maybe it was a good idea for him to back off, seeing as his team was going to lose, but that was just actually a terrible engagement for the Radiant. I don't really know what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, they should have just left the Sand King to die. Yeah, as soon as things started turning sideways...
Uh-oh, we're going to see a lot of rage
turned tail and
pings.
ran.
It was coming up from minTea, actually.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, maybe they're telling him to go back in Roche. But yeah, anyway, as
I
we were
mean-
saying...
There's still 2 down with no buyback, so they can
You push until
easily.
you theoretically force that out, unless they don't have them, of course, as they don't.
Oh man, they just can't do anything to stop this. This is just way too much damage on the
Yeah,
towers.
this is just GG at this point. Reg's trying, but he just can't.
Oh, he might be able to do it with Satanic up soon. Oh no, he
yeah.
just
Luna
can't.
has her own satanic.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought was happening. Yeah, GG,
And the
well played.
GG's
The
called.
GG's called.
And, wow, okay, this has just been
It was
one
a-
seesaw of a game.
I feel like it was a good comeback for the Dire.
A good comeback after a good comeback after a good comeback.
Well, no, very early on, even though the net worth may not have dictated it, they were certainly on the the back foot there as far as how the game was going. So they came back, they settled down, they allowed Hankinator on his Luna to get plenty of farm, and he just took over.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, 56 minutes, guys. That was actually quite a long game, but good game. This has been your caster. Well, actually, I'm not Pro-Tilting. FamiliaTwin, and oh my gosh, it just disconnected me. Son of a bitch! I wanted to record that.
Timed out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to record that from somebody else. This has been your caster, FamiliaTwin, and my co-casters.
I am PinoSmash.
And I'm BROTE.
And I guess this is us signing off.